In this video, I want to provide the solution to the integral online test T1, question 10. So this asks us to solve the equation 3 cos theta is equal to 2 sine squared theta. And we're told that theta is between 0 and 2 pi. Well, what we need to remember here is we need to set up an equation that's either just in cosine theta or just in sine theta, and we're going to use our identity that cosine squared theta plus sine squared theta is identical to 1, and what will be useful is to substitute in for sine squared theta here, so we get an equation just in cosine theta. So we know that sine squared theta is identical to 1 minus cosine squared theta, and we make this substitution here. So making that substitution, we get 3 cosine theta equals 2 lots of 1 minus cosine squared theta. If we expand that out, we get 3 cosine theta equals 2 minus 2 cosine squared theta. And then I'm going to collect all the terms on the left-hand side. So we have 2 cosine squared theta plus 3 cosine theta, subtract 2 is equal to 0. And this is a quadratic equation in cosine. And this actually factorizes to be 2 cosine theta subtract 1 cosine theta add 2 is equal to 0. So either we have cosine theta equals a half, or we have cosine theta equals negative 2. And if we think about our cosine graph between 0 and 2 pi, we can see, and we know that this maximum value occurs at 1 and the minimum value at minus 1, we can see that there are definitely no solutions to cosine theta equals minus 2, as cosine theta is always between 1 and negative 1, so this has no solutions. Okay, but we also need to deal with cosine theta equals a half. Well, cosine inverse of a half is pi over 3, and you probably should know that one, but your calculator will tell you that if they don't. So we can see that one of our solutions to cosine theta equals a half is at pi over 3 radians. Our other solution is going to be here. Well, we know that this maximum value occurs when theta is 2 pi, so our other value of theta is going to be 2 pi subtract pi over 3, which is 5 pi over 3. So we have another solution of 5 pi over 3. So the final solution to this equation is theta equals pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. And just look carefully at the question. You have already got multiples of pi, and it asks for whole numbers or fractions in their simplest form, a over b, and we need to make sure the smallest one comes first. So what you're going to type is you're going to type 1/3 and 5/3 into those spaces